All right, let's go. The final comms I've got to do this week. So and we're a few hours out. Sorry, from the next race in Kyoto, which is going to be quite a something. I'll say that much. Yeah, Kyoto is always one of those races. It's going to be even more so with the tire wear this time around. But nonetheless, before we get to Kyoto, we've got to do Tier 5 comms for last week's race at Le Mans. And Le Mans is quite a famous track at the end of the day. We'll figure out if everyone's going to be able to go through this pretty well in a short while. I think there's only 11 people in the lobby here for Tier 5. Yep, there's only 11 people in the lobby for Tier 5. Not sure if that means we're going to get closer racing or racing that's a lot further out, but I guess we will wait and see. Might have to at some point before the next one. Before the feature, I'm going to have to delete one or two of my replays because there is like 2 liveries total on these cars, I'm pretty sure. And that's part of the thing at the end of the day, isn't it? Part of all the spectacle is seeing what everyone's decided to put on their cars. And unfortunately, I haven't done that here. Here's what it is. We'll give it a couple more minutes before we get going. Because, give people the chance to get into the stream. And, well, get themselves ready to enjoy the next hour and a quarter or so with us. But yeah. No, it's a GT thing where I don't have enough space in my GT storage for all the liveries as well for some reason. I don't know why they're separate. The way to fix it would be to go in and delete a couple of replays. I'm aware of this already. Honestly, I've got like 3 or 4 seasons worth of replays I could probably delete by this point. Because I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, I still have season 8 replays in my storage or GT. And we're currently on season 12, so you can tell how far that goes back. At least an entire year. But we will sort everything out as we go along. Got a couple minutes now. Usually about the 5-minute mark we go in and do the grid. Gives everyone enough chance to actually realize that we are in fact live. And then afterwards we've got afterwards I'll be doing practice for Kyoto. Kyoto is going to be an interesting proposition. So yeah, we've got a couple minutes. There's only 11 people on the grid today. And as we know from last time, BMWs have a bit of control over the entire tier as it started at the moment. But yeah, right. Let's go now then. I've just sent myself a message. I sent someone Okay. Right. Let's get going. That way we can do everything just that little bit quicker, and I'm not going to be so devastated from a race later on. Kyoto is just slide central later, but we'll go through Kyoto in the middle of the week, some point. But for now, I'm going to run through the grid here. For the sprint for Tier 5. So, Monty on pole for, I believe that's the second time this season. But again, this season's just not gone well for him. He's not really done much of anything with any sort of gift he's been given so far. Jin's in second, which I believe is his best qualifying of the season. I'll see if he's actually going to be able to do anything, because he's been a significant letdown, especially in terms of predictions and everything like that for Tier 5 so far. And you've got Higgsy in third, who definitely made last week hard for himself. Unnecessarily hard for himself, we could say, as he crashed into the Barcelona pit lane and somehow still got away with everything. Then you got Stewart in fourth, which I think is his highest qualifying. You got D-Dubs in fifth in the other Supra. In the other modern day Supra, as I'd say, there's probably there's at least 3 Supras on the track as I see right now. And then you got Fracas in sixth in the Mazda, who is probably feeling like I've dogpiled on him for the entire season. Hopefully that changes today. You got Waluigi in seventh, who is back from his race ban. Let's see if he can recover just a little bit today. You got Orak in eighth, Deco in ninth, and you got Wario in 10th and Slav in 11th. That will show us that is the grid, and that is 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go here at Le Mans. Who's going to have a good start? It certainly isn't Monty, as Jin just flies off into the lead. It's Jin versus Higgsy. Then Stewart also overtaking Monty as Monty drops from first to fourth immediately. And Fracas gained one on D-Dubs as well, who loses out. But his super start is not particularly good. A little bit deep there for Fracas in the Mazda, and we've got a little bit of a collision there in turn one. And I think that D-Dubs that took the worst of the brunt there, and dropped all the way to 9th off the start of this race, and goes deep again and drops to the back. So we've got Waluigi and Wario going at it. Wario gaining a couple of positions, Waluigi losing one. Orak also up from 8th to 6th in this race so far. So Monty back up into third, so he's managed to work his way up one position after that super horrible start. Gives him a mountain to climb at the start of this race. Jin has Jin has control of this race in the first lap, but it's Le Mans, and it doesn't necessarily turn out to be that easy, as we got Monty on the outside here. Monty in the Supra has definitely got a lot more straight line speed than that Merc 20, and he's making it show, and he's got past him. He got past Higgsy, but he's gone a bit deep. There's someone who has decided that there is not a corner in that chicane, sorry. Not sure what happened there. Someone has got this awfully wrong. I need to figure out who it is. So who's just missed the braking point here? Oh, yeah, it's Waluigi. It's Waluigi who's just decided there is not a corner there in that chicane. Just goes straight on. Luckily avoids everyone in the process. But it goes straight on into the wall. We've got Monty and Higgsy fighting it out now. It looks like Higgsy's going to play the team game, play a little bit of a team game here, where he's going to bump draft Monty rather than overtaking Monty. It looks like they're just trying to head in the direction of Jin before much anything else can happen. As we continue to roll through the first lap, about to hit halfway. It still looks like Higgsy is in third, Monty in second, as he's starting to work his way back up. The Supra definitely the best on this track, no doubt about that. Definitely the most suited to Le Mans, and Jin's about to find that out the hard way. As we now go with the 11 drivers down into the halfway point of the lap, 90-degree hairpin, less than 90-degree, a 45-degree hairpin realistically. Oh, that looked a little bit deep from Stewart. Just about gets away with it, as he also passed Higgsy. Didn't even realise Higgsy was overtaken there. Fracas is also now trying to line up a line on Higgsy. And Merc 20 speed just proving detrimental as we now head towards Indianapolis. As we go down the hill now, back into the second half of the track. And Higgsy is trying to pull alongside. Fracas is there as well. Fracas is possibly about to bump him. We'll see, but Higgsy's on the inside of Monty. Of Stewart, sorry. And so it's Fracas, and Fracas just hits the back of Higgsy and goes on through. And I'm pretty sure that would get dragged to the Stewards. That's not allowed. That's a push to pass in every sense of the word. And Fracas has managed to get through on Stewart as well. Stewart overtaken there by possibly overtaken there by multiple as Higgsy did get by and then was pushed off of the track. And here comes Higgsy again, trying to fight this back. The front three are pretty much in the distance now. Remember the Porsche curves a cordless squiggle. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. That's I either forgot that quote entirely or just forgot it or couldn't remember that he actually said that. But it is what it is. Aurak and I think that's Wario there in 7th as well. Yep. It is. As we go down towards the final couple of corners here, couple of back-to-back chicanes. Let's see if people are going to get this right. There was a bunch of penalties from here in Tier 2. Looks like Stewart has got a bit deep there. Stewart's gone very deep there and somehow survived because Higgsy also didn't get a good run out the corner, and Higgsy could have had him for sure there, but it doesn't get it at all in the final chicane. And now we're starting to see a little bit of separation. A little bit of people starting to drive away now, as we've got Jin and Monty, however, right beside each other at the front of this grid. Monty got 1.5 seconds, or dragging back to Fracas at the end of the lap. So you see Fracas in the background there. But Jin, for now, in control of this race. Monty will go by on this straight. I say he'd go by on the straight. He will go by, but he will also pick up another half second. You see that go on his tally. It's definitely at least 2 seconds of penalties now for Monty. I'd be very surprised if it's not. That looked very much all the way over. The game not giving him a penalty? Wow, the game's not going to give him the extra penalty. Monty goes past Jin, and I'm pretty sure the game does not recognise that he was completely over the curve there. But Monty in the lead of this race now. But he had the 1.5 second penalty, and that will bring him back behind Jin after this. After the next couple of sectors, away from the penalty line as a whole. Now Monty's trying to stop the BMW from using the toe down the second part of this straight. And Fracas is also on the second part of the straight now, but isn't really close. Stewart was a 1.5 as well. Higgsy is way behind now. Aurak and Wario has a second. Apparently the entire grid does not like track limits, as Slavman is very much in the back now. I think Monty just got a bit shallow there. That might be an extra penalty as well. I'm not entirely sure. The penalty, the track limits on the second half of that chicane. I guess we'll figure out whether or not the game wants to give him one. It doesn't look like it will. As we continue down the down the main straight here at Le Mans. And into the second half of lap 2, and Monty has 1.5, doesn't get a penalty from the second part of the chicane either, so he's been playing with fire a little bit in this race. Jin playing with a lot of fire on that exit. You don't want to be doing that too often. Just about keeping his car in the end there. And now Monty has a little bit of a gap. I'm not sure it's enough to suffice a 1.5 second penalty. Jin should take the lead after this after Indianapolis here as well. So we should be going back to Jin in control of this race. Monty won't be too far back. I think he'll be pretty much the smack bang in the middle of Jin and of Fracas as we go through. Just went outside of Indianapolis now and down towards the penalty line. Let's see how much this 1.5 second is actually going to impact Monty, who's going to lose time on the exit of the corner as well. Jin also not getting a good exit, but Jin is close enough realistically that this should not be a problem. Also got Stewart taking a penalty now as well. There goes Jin on the inside, and Jin takes the lead of this race, albeit not by an awful lot, as that 1.5 second did not do as much damage as I think it would have to Monty, who's gone a bit wide there on the entrance into that corner. I'll see if he can pull back on Jin in the middle, by the time we hit lap 3, and possibly give us a good showdown down the Mulsanne straight. You know, Fracas in third, who's doing significantly better than what I've seen him do most of the season. Jin goes a little bit deep. Not sure if that's going to count. I think it might. We'll see if Jin's about to pick up. Oh, Monty on the outside. Monty touches grass. He somehow not spanned. And Monty goes with an audacious move on the outside to take the lead of the race even before the final couple of chicanes. I was not expecting that. Monty getting a very audacious move, taking advantage of Jin's mistake on the exit of the fifth to last. And, well, that's going to allow Monty to drive off into the distance now. That Super is in good hands with Monty in this race, and only this race, because Monty has not had a particularly good season as a whole. We'll see whether or not that can change today. Can he put up his first win of the season? Jin also looking for his first win of the season. Same goes for Fracas, actually. So one of these three will put their name on the board as a first-time winner in this tier in this season. It only takes them, what, 6 rounds to do so. But it definitely looks like through the beginning of 3 that Monty has a very clear path. Has a very clear path to winning this race. Slavin's right at the back, tailed off now. We'll continue to take a look through. Still 11 people in this race. We started with 11. No one disconnected yet. Fracas is now going to help Jin a little bit. That did not look like much of a bump. But he is going to help Jin a little bit here as we head down the Mulsanne straight into the first of the 2 chicanes. And they have a long way to go to catch up to Monty, who is just dragging that Supra way ahead, but with a penalty again. Monty with another penalty in this sprint race is doing everything he can to throw this away. It won't be enough of a penalty to really impact whether or not he's still in the lead of this race. Definitely looks like that half second is more than that gap that we've got right now. Fracas takes a position up second as he overtakes Jin right into the second chicane on the Mulsanne straight there, and he gets it pretty nicely. And someone's sliding, and I think that's Monty. It is Monty. He's got a half second penalty. Goes through the second chicane. I think he slides on the exit. Not able to control this super slide. Oh yeah, he's just got too much throttle on the curb too soon, and Monty, who is in control of this race, has now given up the chance to win. That is not good news for Monty whatsoever. He'll probably stay third. He probably won't get too challenged in that regard. But now the lead is going to be solely down to who can win, Jin or Fracas. It's BMW versus Mazda. Let's see if who's going to win this. Jin was in control of Barcelona in the sprint, remember, until he disconnected. And well, it's not great. It wasn't great for him a week ago. Will it be much better today? Can it be a sign of the times changing here a little bit for Jin in this race? Fracas still in control though. He goes through we're into like the second to last sector now on the track here, and Fracas is definitely still in the lead. Monty's got a half second penalty serve in third, but he is in control. Well, I'd say control of third place. Needs to get himself a bit adjusted to that Supra though. The Supra definitely has a slide. I can tell you that from experience, and it's a tough one to control if you don't have don't get to grips with it. Here comes Fracas, who's still going after, still trying to hold on against Jin here. Jin definitely has the better final couple of sectors, even though it doesn't look like he's done well in this particular sector. It's like he's just had a little bit of a bad run through the second to last sector of this race. Monty is quite the way back in third place at the moment. We've also got Higsy and Stewart, who are fighting. Well, they were fighting. Higsy seems to have broken a little bit clear. I think Stewart may have had a penalty and will tack another second on. So Stewart in the top 5 for now, but will get dragged back to D-Dub sooner rather than later. Who doesn't have a penalty. Both the GTRs are having a nightmare today. And here comes, as soon as I say that, here comes Waluigi trying to make a move on Deco. Will he get the move on Deco? Down into turn 1. GTR versus McLaren. Will it happen for the GTR? It got alongside to the inside of turn 1. It's a sweeping turn 1, remember, and down towards turn 2, the chicane now. Who's going to have this? Deco on the inside line, the outside line for Waluigi, and he got it. He got it eventually there, Waluigi, on the inside of the third corner and gets past Deco eventually, but does it nonetheless as we go through lap 4, and, well, quite frankly, there's no real challenge here. It looks like Fracas is going to have this one wrapped up. Jin's not in slipstream, and not in effective slipstream anyway, of Fracas as we go down the first part of the Mulsanne straight. Fracas just needs to drive very safely for one lap. There's Jin in the background, not within any sort of slipstream actually here, and then Monty quite considerably behind, now in third. And then Higgsy trying to catch up to that Supra. Supra's going to have a good line and a lot more speed, so quite frankly Higgsy shouldn't pose too much of a threat to Monty either. But you're just starting to see how things are unfolding here. As we got one lap to go, Stuart also had the penalties, so D-Dubs is going to be brought back into this deco. It's going to go back after Waluigi as we head down into the second chicane on the Mulsanne straight. Will it work? Here goes Deco to the inside. He is slightly in front. I think he's entirely in front now, and he does get back past Waluigi here. And the GTR's not doing well against the BMW in the slightest here. BMW in seconds, 8th and 9th, I think it is, for the two GTRs. Oh, Jin having a little bit of slide again on the exit of the halfway point of the lap, realistically, and we go down. Well, we're halfway through the final lap now, and Fracas has well, without a mistake, Fracas has an insurmountable lead, but there's probably where the commentator's curse comes in. We'll wait and see if that is going to be the case as we continue to go along in this race. And it's still Fracas leading Jin as we go through Indianapolis, and then Monty in third on the bottom step of the podium so far. Higgsy, after winning in Barcelona in the feature, not able to replicate it in Le Mans Sprint. And he currently sits himself in fourth. You got Stewart in fifth, D-Dubs in sixth, Deco in seventh. See if I'm getting faster laps than your BRZ. The BRZ is a bad car. It is a horrible car. So it's still going on here as we're going through the final couple of sectors, and Fracas is now essentially out of the range of where mistakes are going to happen. As he goes through now into the final sector, can he win his first race of the season? And will he earn a little bit of praise for once, instead of always being, well, piled up for spinning at every opportunity? Can he do it? He's got 2 chicanes to go. Will he get to the line? He's going through the first of them now. No mistake through the first chicane. And that leaves 2 corners to go. And he's through them both. And down to the line goes Fracas. And Fracas wins the sprint. And he's done extremely well to do so from 5th. But it was a commanded drive after Monty's spin. He took control of the race after that and never really had any problems. And Jin gets second. Higgsy gets on the final step of the podium. Let's see what happened there. Wonder what actually happened to Monty here. Oh, Monty went deep. Monty went deep. Oh no, Monty made another mistake. Yeah, Brackett's got 3:59.2 there as well, fastest lap of the race. Yeah, Monty made a mistake there and he threw away the bottom step of the podium. Wow. There you go. Higgsy manages to pick up third, another podium, back-to-back podiums for him. In the back-to-back races, the Barcelona feature and the Le Mans Sprint. I guess you'll take that one even if it wasn't his greatest drive. Monty gets 4th, Stewart gets 5th, D-Dubs in the end with 6th, and it looks like Waluigi will beat Deco in the end. Yeah, and he does get 7th. Deco's penalty costing him in the end there. Aurak's currently in 9th, 10th with Wario, and it's got to be a lot better for the GTRs in this second race, otherwise they're going to have a lot of problems in terms of trying to make something happen in this championship. Then we got Slav at the back of the grid. And now I'm going to go delete a replay or two before trying to, well, before going through and see if we can actually get the liveries on the cars instead of the bare bone cars. But there you go, that's the end of the sprint there. Slav not doing a quicker than a 4:10, which is something else entirely. Alright, let's do a couple of things. Replays. Let's just delete a couple here. Look, Jesus Christ, 9th of the 7th, 2022. Wow, been a while. That should give us enough to download and sort out. And hopefully see some liveries on the cards here in Tier 5. As always, we like the person's post who actually posted the race, Fracas this time. So, Fracas, first win of the season. A very, very good drive for him. And yeah, I don't know what I'm not used to giving Fracas praise. It doesn't happen very often. But he will take that for sure. He needed a win. Just for confidence reasons, if nothing else at this point. And here we go. So I see a ton of deliveries. I think that's all of the deliveries, actually. Alright, let's have a look. What are we looking at for tyres? So softs for Slavman. Is it mediums for the rest of the grid? No, it's mediums for the rest of the grid minus D-dubs. Okay, so Slavman starts up front, and then you've got Wario in second, Aurak in third, Deco in fourth, Waluigi in fifth, D-dub sixth, Stuart seventh, Monty in 8th, who should realistically be the favourite for this one, given how he drove the sprint before he span. Higgsy in 9th in the Aston Villa colours. Then we've got Jin in 10th and Fracas at the back of the grid. So hope everyone actually makes the line. I have a very painful experience with that. Let's see if everyone actually does make the line. We go through. Yeah, everyone is going to make the line. So, down towards turn 1 we go then. Slav is going to take us through it. He's going to be the first one into turn 1. He's doing a pretty good job holding on to the lead against Wario through the first couple of corners. And now we've got Aurak and Deco, both in the McLarens, which I don't know the McLaren's fuel, but tyres is not a non-factor at all in Le Mans, so it's not going to be a track for them, I don't think. As suggested by those sprint results. Oh, that doesn't look good! That looks like Deco's in the wall and Waluigi's followed him! Deco is in the wall, and what happened to Waluigi here? But bear in mind, ghosting's off. Oh, never mind, it's a collision. It's a collision between the two, and Waluigi has waited quite kindly for Deco there. I think maybe a little bit overzealous. Something also happened to Jin throughout this entire thing. What the hell happened? Oh, Jin went deep. Jin went deep into the gravel at turn 4, I think that is. Oh, there's a lot that happened there. A lot we had to get through. Multiple incidents happening at the same time. 3 guys essentially making their lives harder for themselves. They're here in the feature. And first and second have a little bit of daylight now. But Slav from Wario from D-dubs, who just got in front of Aurak. And Aurak has a half-second penalty as well. Then you've got Stuart and Monty that's just further behind. I don't think they're in the slipstream of the 2 in front. Stuart might be heading into the end of the first chicane in Malton Straight, but wait and see if that is actually the case. It's more likely probably to get overtaken by Monty though down this back straight. Slavman and Wario are not close enough to make any sort of moves happen down this down the back straight here. Here comes Monty, who's starting to pull a little bit closer to Stewart, but again, the high-end speed on that Supra is probably not that much higher than the old Supra. But down into the second chicane, here comes Monty on the inside. Stewart's going to have to brake earlier because he's in an older car, but he's going to hold it. He's going to hold on. It's well defended there by Stewart in the Super 97. And Monty's going to have a good go at this again. I bet he's not done trying to get himself further up the grid here. Brackus, who won the first race, into 7th already. Got past Jin and a couple others when they had their mistakes earlier on, and also got past Higsy as well. Stewart managing to hold off Higsy for Stewart holding off Monty, sorry, for now. As also have Aurak and D-Dubs trying to fight it out. Again, Aurak's penalty will bring him closer to Stewart than it will D-Dubs. D-Dubs will start lap 2 roughly by himself. We also got Wario and Slabman. Them two are fighting it out at the lead for the lead of this race now as we head through the first lap. Let's see if Wario is going to be able to take himself into the lead. The softs on the car, that Ferrari. Mediums on the GTR. They go for Indianapolis. It looked like Wario's looking for something there, but he doesn't get it. And Slabman's going to hold on for just a little while longer. We're going through into the penalty lane now, and we'll see that Aurak is about to drop off. He's got a penalty, and we'll have to serve his half second now. We'll see how close the rest of them get to it. Stewart's going to be there. I think Monty should get by as well. Brackus won't. So that's a 2-place drop for Aurak realistically at the end of this. Or is it? Because Monty hasn't got by Aurak. Okay, so Aurak managed to get back up to speed quick enough. And he's got defensive. He's got time to defend from Monty now, and to go after Stewart in the Super 97 directly in front of him. He does, unfortunately, in a slow high-speed car, in a slow top-end car. Oh, there's a little bit of a slide there for Aurak, and Monty's going to go to the inside, possibly take advantage. Nope, no advantage taken by Monty there. Could have done it. Probably just got a little bit caught out in the end. Didn't go for it in the end. That's a little bit down the inside. That's a dive bomb. It wasn't made without the contact either. I guess Monty's going to get away with that. Definitely contact between the two. Wasn't the cleanest of moves I've ever seen there from Monty, but he gets by nonetheless, and Fracas picked up half a second. As he drops off the back of Aurak. Maybe Fracas had a little bit of trouble there with the final chicane there, a little slower than the rest of the field. So, Slavman still holds off on Wario, actually by a decent chunk of time now. That's a decent change from the first lap as well, where Wario had got all over the back of Slavman. Not the case now, albeit Slavman is just about hanging on to the track limits there, save for Wario. And it turned out Wario did not hold on to the track limits. That's an immediate half-second penalty. And that will drop him behind D-Dubs. That D-Dubs in a Supra. We'll see if whether or not that Supra is going to be able to make a move or two on the GTR, maybe even the Ferraris. We head down the first part of Mulsanne Straight. D-Dubs is getting really close. Can he do it? He's going to be not close enough. What the hell happened to D-Dubs there? That was an interesting conundrum that just happened to D-Dubs, considering he was right on the back of Wario there. It's now right back on the back of Wario's car all over again. Then you've got fight in the back there. I think there's Monty getting past Stewart. It is Monty getting past Stewart. As Monty gets up into 4th now, Aurak is disappearing a little bit into the distance. In 6th place there, and it's not a good into the distance either for Aurak. We got a little bit of a fight at the front. Wario's got past Slapman, and Wario has now hit the lead of this race, even with the half-second. They've come together just a little bit there, Slapman and Wario, but Wario holds on for a split second as Wario goes very deep as he reappears into our picture there. He goes very deep and hands the position straight back to Slavman in the end. So Slavman holds on and takes back the lead of the race. It's his second lead of this race as a whole. D-Dubs is there and thereabouts as well. Wario's got a half-second penalty. Slavman's got the inside here against Wario. And they've come together a little bit again. Slavman just a little bit. Oh, so Wario deep. Very deep there. I need a better camera angle of what just happened. Because I just couldn't tell anything that happened there. I think it was a collision between Slapman and Wario to begin with. As we go down down into the final corner now, you clearly collide there. And Wario just goes very deep. Just goes very deep. Just couldn't get the car stopped. D-Dubs is going to get in front of him, and so is Monty. Because Monty is now right on the back of him, and Wario has a 5-second penalty. All of a sudden, that grip, or the possibility of being in first place in this race ahead of Slapman has just disappeared. He's not even on the podium anymore, Wario. And there goes Monty to the inside. He's even got it before the penalty line, even before Indianapolis. So that is a good time for Monty. An awful couple of corners there for Wario. And D-Dubs is still trying to go after Slapman and not doing it very, very well at the moment. So the two guys on soft tyres at the lead of this race until Slapman goes deep. And Wario's just about saved his car. Wow, everything happening. It's not, you get a corners, nothing happens, and everything happens at once in the following corner. Here comes D-Dubs against Slapman, this time on the outside. Is he going to be able to hit the lead of this race? Yes, he is. Monty's going to try and follow through the hole that was created as a result, and will do. Follows it well. He's on the inside. He gets past Slapman now as well. As Slapman drops from first to third in one straight line. That's not good news for the Ferrari at all. Stewart currently now in fourth, Wario in fifth, Orak in sixth, Fracas in seventh, who needs to start making his way the right way through the grid. He's just stuck in seventh at the moment. And Higsy was a little bit deep there. I wonder if that's going to be a penalty. You got Jin in the background, who's actually started to get himself back into this just a little bit. But after his mistake in turn 4, I think he's left himself just a slight bit too much to do in this race. We're now going on to lap 3. Here, Higsy on the outside against Fracas. Can he get this down into turn 1? Or even into turn 2? They're side by side going through turn 1. The inside line is definitely better. And Fracas is just going to take full advantage of that as Higsy just does not look in control of the car through turn 1. And Higsy is just going to have to settle for being behind Fracas for just a little while longer. As we continue through the opening stage of this race, I wonder if anyone's going to do a 4-6 strategy, especially those on the medium tyres. If you have enough of a tank, I wouldn't say no to doing it. You got Jin going extremely deep in the background there. Yep, picked up half a second. That was pretty much nailed on. Deco and Waluigi effectively out of the race as a whole. And then you got Higsy in 8th, Fracas in 7th, Orak in 6th. There's not a lot separating these guys. Wario is going to get chased down by Orak now. Orak looking, pulling out the slipstream and then going to the inside of the first chicane. A little bit of a switchback possible here for Wario. Can he do it on the outside? And that's beautiful. Looked at, well, saw Orak coming, made Orak go deep, and then Orak just not able to hold his line, and Wario gets positioned straight back, but it is going to bring Fracas into this freeway now. Orak is going to go again. He's going to try it again, this time on the inside of Wario, and this time well before the chicane even props up. And Orak is going to have this one, no questions asked. A little bit of a cut off there by Wario, who defends from Fracas. I'm not sure if Orak's gone a little bit too deep for well in the penalty there. But Fracas is now going to have a real good go at this. He's not in the slipstream of Orak and has to slip back behind Wario, and maybe it's a little bit of a bump drafting going on now as these three are right on the back of each other. Monty's up into second, Slapman in third. Did not happen on the prior lap. So Wario to the inside here, looking against Orak, doesn't get it. Fracas also getting a semi-good corner there, looking for a better exit, try and bring himself alongside Wario, he doesn't get it. So these three are still trying to hold on, well, trying to move up toward the front, but also trying to hold on to everything else they have as well. So Fracas on the inside of Wario now, and Fracas gets by before Indianapolis. It's a pretty good job there by the Mazda. The GTR just does not suit this track apparently. Wario and Waluigi having a very hard time, and looks a little bit deep there by Orak. And Fracas is on the outside, and Fracas is going to get it. Fracas up into 5th now. Aurak was under fire there. It looks like Stewart is about to go past Lapman, and he is. And up into 3rd goes Stewart in the Super 97. We're still only 3 laps through this race. We've got a freeway going on in the background here. Fracas, Aurak and Wario trying to fight it out. And it looks like Aurak and Fracas are going side by side. And Aurak on the inside now is going to get that position. Back up into 5th goes Aurak. That did not take very long in the slightest. Well fought back there by the McLaren on the Mazda. And Wario also just trying to get himself involved a little bit more as well. Jin's got past Iggy. Jin currently sits himself in 8th. And it could be a decent recovery drive here for Jin after that horrendous start. Wario's going for a pit on lap 3. I've heard of the 4-6 strategy. He cannot be 2-stopping. That would just be that would be the most questionable decision I think I've ever seen if he 2-stopped this race. That would be sick boy levels of questionable strategy. And if he's going to try and do 3-7, then I want to know what illegal stuff he put in that fuel tank. Because it definitely shouldn't be able to go seven laps on 1 tank of fuel. Here we go, Aurak, Fracas and Slapman now going at it. It's gone into a different freeway and Slapman losing another couple of positions. Down to 6th goes Slapman, Aurak and Fracas up 1 more. Jin also in 7th right now because of the GTR deciding to pit for some godforsaken reason. It looks like Aurak is going to hold off Fracas just for a little while longer. Aurak has done this all season. Fracas knows this all too well. He's been stuck behind Aurak at every opportunity. Aurak is just one of those guys you just do not want to be defending against. Attacking, sorry, because he knows how to defend with quite the expertise at this point. And it's going to be Fracas to the inside, looking to finally put the demons away. Can he get past Aurak? He's on the inside. No, he cannot. He doesn't have the aggressiveness to go for that, even though he absolutely should have. Let's see if he goes for it here. Maybe he's just playing the waiting game, trying to go down into the back end of the lap. And he is, in fact, just going to do that. Fracas is going to go past Aurak down into the back end of the lap now. They're still side by side, though. He's got to hope he can get this done. Aurak's on the inside line, though. So this is going to be easier for Aurak in the corner. And Fracas. Oh, and Aurak's got deep. I was about to say this, Fracas made a mistake allowing Aurak so much room, but Aurak's just gone way too deep, and the underneath cut from Fracas gains the 4th position, and Slapman also goes back through on Aurak. As a result as well, Aurak not able to do that much defending there. Aurak's going to go straight back after the Ferrari. Can he get it down into Indianapolis? There's a little bit of a touch between the two of them in the corner beforehand. Will there be any sort of anything going on here? Down into Indianapolis. No overtakes attempted here. And Slapman is now giving Fracas a little bit of breathing room on Aurak, and that's what Fracas needed. Jin's also got himself all the way back into this race. Like the entire way back. He's in 7th. He's right behind Aurak and Fracas. There is definitely a good result on the cards here for Jin, as long as he doesn't spin again. The others have just not gotten themselves into this at all. Wario did, in fact, go onto the soft tyre. So T-Dubs ahead of Monty. That's still 1-2. Stewart's 3, but he's considerably further back. And then Fracas in the corner or 2 further back from Stewart. And then you see the chasing pack. Aurak ahead of Slapman. And then Jin directly behind that. We'll see if anything's going to happen here in the end of lap 4. Anyone going into pit? No for both the Supras. Stewart also not going for it. No Fracas, no Aurak. Slabman is going straight to a wall. And, oh, so is Higsy! Nobody can do it. We might need a third version of this. People cannot do the Le Mans pit lane, apparently. Oh, Slabman and Higsy just careened themselves straight into a wall. It's a chicane there, lads. And this is why you have to do practice. Especially practicing on the pit lane, because that is exactly how you get everything wrong. And, well, quite frankly, you sacrifice at least 10 seconds to go straight into the pit lane wall. And Slabman in, Higsy in, Zelda in, Deco in, all four of these guys going for the 4-6 strategy. Hopefully they can figure out a way back into the race with it. Wario went for a 3-7, I think, which is going to be a very interesting proposition. Somehow I don't think it's going to work. D-Dubs has a half-second penalty. Monty is right behind him now as well. It looks like the two Supras looking for 1-2. Can D-Dubs and Monty just solidify it for now? They have a very, very comfortable lead. Stewart just heading through the chicane now. I think Monty went a bit deep there. He might be, yep, they're both getting a half-second penalty, and that might bring them back to Stewart. And certainly will bring them closer to Stewart. And yeah, Stewart's going to be loving the fact that that is the case in front of him. The Fracas in 4th, are very much clear of Aurak to 1.5 seconds, and Jin will overtake Aurak here at the penalty line in lap 5 then. So, the ones that didn't pit on the last lap are pitting at the end of this lap. Slabman is somehow ahead of Wario, it's ahead of Higsy and Zelda, and then Deco and Co as well. Higsy got 3 seconds for cutting the exit of the pit lane. No, the entrance to the pit lane. Both of them green into the pit lane wall, obviously, and that's 3 seconds to both Higsy and to Slabman, who's just been overtaken by Wario to the inside of the first chicane of the Mulsanne straight. So, the GTR up into 7th. The 3 seconds here for both Slabman and Higsy should realistically bring Zelda back into this battle that we've got between these two anyway. These two battling out. Higsy goes past Slabman now as well. And we're going to look a little bit further forward. Aurak still has his penalty. It's not going to happen there. It's, quite frankly, there's not an actual lot going on here at the front. Fracas closing in on Stewart, that's about it. So now it's just about waiting for the penalty to kick in and seeing what the battles we've got after that. So Higsy and Slabman going at it, and Higsy has a better exit out of the second chicane in the Mulsanne straight. And it looks like Higsy's going to get in front. It'll stay in front of Slabman as well, because Slabman has an extra half second. Not entirely sure where he picked up the extra half second, but he now has 3.5 seconds worth of penalties. Higsy and Slabman will definitely get brought back to Zelda. As you can see Zelda in the background. And Slabman goes a bit deep! Goes very deep into the corner there. But he somehow managed to make it work. He goes very deep into the corner, but it's just not quite a good enough exit. Not quite good enough on the acceleration. Otherwise, that would have been a beautiful move by Slabman. An unexpected one, but a beautiful one nonetheless. But one of those, you look like a genius if you pull it off, and an idiot if you don't. And, well, Slabman almost pulled it off, but almost is not good enough in this league. And Higsy is now starting to drive a little bit ahead now of Slabman. And you got Zelda who's just about to peer into the background. D-Dub's now into the pits. There you go, that's Waluigi. Into the background of the shot. Wario getting a little bit all over the place on the exit, and Higsy picks up half a second extra as well. Wow. There's both them saving their penalties now. Will Zelda get close enough to either one of them to make a move? The penalties have been served. He's definitely got close now, but he's not close enough to make a move here, Waluigi. He might be close enough on Slabman, actually. Slabman getting a little bit of the worst rub, and there you go. That is Waluigi past Slabman. And he's got Higsy to try and catch up to now as well. And the top 6 have all pit. We're done 5 laps on the medium. They're going on to 5 laps on the softs, or vice versa, whichever one they were in before. In the case of D-Dub, they're going from soft to medium. So I think Monty is actually in the lead of this race. Yeah, Monty's now in the lead of this race. D-Dubs had to put more in. Not as efficient on fuel, I guess. And that will allow Monty on a softer compound to go into the lead of this race. And, well, quite frankly, that should allow Monty to drive this one with an extreme amount of comfort. He should not have any problems with this. Fracas picks up 1.5. Oh, that is not good news for Fracas. 1.5 second penalty there. But we're going to guess that was in Indianapolis. And it's going to allow Stewart to drive off as well. It might bring Jin into his battle as well. Jin actually quite significantly in the background at the moment. You can't even see him in the distance of the shot there we got with Fracas and Stewart. You might be able to see him. There you go. He's appeared into the background now as we come onto lap 6 of 10 here. As going down the straight, Fracas is a little bit behind Stewart, so nothing's going to happen here. There's a lot of going on. So Stewart, the Supras are definitely rolling their way through at the moment. They're in control of this race, all three of them, and Stewart's got a bit deep. I think that might be a half-second penalty coming his way. And of course, if that's the case, then Jin's going to be licking his lips as a possible podium might be on the cards for him. It's not a penalty for Stewart, so I'm rather surprised at that. It looked like he went very deep, and the game doesn't really care if you left the throttle or not. As it looked like Stewart's held on against Fracas down into the second chicane there. So Monty in the lead to D-Dubs in second, and Stewart and Fracas the battle on the screen right now. Fracas will obviously drop away from Stewart after his penalty here. We'll wait and see how far that is going to be in terms of where Jin is as well. Zorak is not that far off the back of Jin, so the top 6 not separated by an awful lot of time. You've got Wario in 7th right now, fighting against Higsy actually. Higsy is flying as well. Slavman picks up another half second as he currently sits in 10th. Deco right off the tail of the group. So Higsy not able to get past Wario for now. Looks like we'll go back to Fracas and Stewart for the moment in time. Then we'll go to the battle for 7th after that. After we go past Indianapolis here. See if there's going to be a move from Higsy at any point on Wario. As we head down towards Indianapolis, I think that might have been. I think Fracas might be about to tack on another 1.5 seconds. I think he's got all 4. Yeah, he is. I knew it. Called it, and he tacked on another 1.5 seconds, all on the green. And the penalty to seemingly Fracas' Achilles heel around Le Mans. And that 3 seconds, well, that's a free position for Jin. It might not be for Orak. I think Orak's a little bit too far away, but it's certainly going to be a free position for Jin, who's just going to look to the outside and make this easy work. There you go, as Jin goes up into 4th. As after a massive mistake at the beginning of the race, Jin has recovered exceptionally well at this point in time. To go from the back of the grid to, well, straight up to 4th. And see if there's any more in store here for Jin. You know, still got Stewart, still got D-Dubs in front. D-Dubs is on a medium tyre as well, so D-Dubs is going to have to put in a little bit more work than the rest of the guys. He's going to be on constant alert. Stewart and Jin are probably going to start chasing him down rather quickly, but we have about, what, 4 laps left of this race. We're about to head into lap 7 here at Tier 5. The 2 Supras comfortably out in front at the moment. You got Stewart with a 2-second penalty. Stewart's got a 2-second penalty in this race. It's turned into who's going to survive the penalties. And that's another Supra got another penalty. We'll see whether or not that's going to bring Jin into this. Right now, I think 2 seconds it would be enough for Stewart to stay in front, just about, but it would be enough. We'll see if that will change during the lap. Fracas in 5th at this point in time. That 3-second time penalty did not do him any favours whatsoever. Orak is close, but not close enough realistically to make anything work here. Wario still holds off Higsy, and then you've got Waluigi as well in that fight. This has turned into a triple threat or a GTR sandwich here in Le Mans, in the sprint race, in the feature race in Le Mans, sorry, lap 7 and 10. Got Higgsy trying to get his way out of this sandwich. Wario the lead car at this point in time in this battle. Here comes Waluigi looking to the inside. No, not got enough pace on without the slipstream to go. He's going to try it again. I think he's got enough to the inside this time. Has he got enough to the inside this time? Yes, he has, but he's gone deep. He's gone very deep. Is he going to hold it? Is he going to hold it without a penalty? No, he is not. That's a half-second penalty there for Waluigi, so he will get that position straight back to Higgsy at the penalty line. That might have been the worst time to make a mistake there. Going a little bit deep for Waluigi as they were just starting to make their way back through the grid. See if they could get anything out of this. Bearing in mind, Wario is... I cannot see his 7 lap on a fucking time. That would be incredible. I don't think a 7 lapper out on the tank on any car is possible around here. But we'll wait and see. I am very, very interested in the outcome of this. So Aurak also has a second penalty in front there, I believe. Yes, he does. So there's 2 of this 4 that have penalties. Wario and Higgsy will be enjoying that. There'll be a free position for Higgsy at the very least. Wario will go onto the back now of Aurak in front. Let's just look to glance at my phone. It looks like we're about to see it. We're about to figure out what it's going to do. Oh, 1.5 there for Waluigi, and Higgsy picked up a second as well. I think that means Higgsy was on the inside of Indianapolis and Waluigi on the outside, and wow! Well, Higgsy will get... Well, actually, he'll get the position on Waluigi, but he won't serve his penalty here. Which is an interesting proposition from the game. Well, I thought that everyone was just going to take it there. So Wario got past Aurak. The second penalty was in fact enough to take Aurak out of 6th place, put Wario in it. Let's see if there's anything going on in the battle at the front. Jin's got up in the 3rd now and completely missed that. So Jin in 3rd got past Stuart. Too busy looking at the battle in the midfield to see what happened there. So the BMW starting to march their way through. And D-Dubs is the one next on the docket. D-Dubs now into turn 1 on lap 8. And you see that Monty is well and truly in the distance. There is no stopping Monty in this race, apart from himself apparently. That's the only way he does not win this one. I would be very, very surprised if that is any other outcome apart from a win for a Supra here. We've got Stuart who's in 4th. Fracker's picking up another penalty. I think that might have been that might be penalty number 5 of this race for Fracas. It's just been his Achilles heel. Well, I wouldn't say the entire day, but he won the sprint. He won the sprint with a very good drive, taking advantage of what he did, of what Monty did, sorry, when Monty just kind of gave the race away in the sprint. He took advantage of it, and he drove wild, took the sprint win. But now he's got to get himself out of the mentality of picking up penalties every single lap, because he is now just condemning himself into a 5th place, when realistically a podium was definitely on the cards for him today. Fracas collected penalties like a Pokemon. Yeah, no, that's an apt description of penalties of the Fracas' penalties collection there. He's got definitely a collected item at the moment. And here comes Stuart to the inside of Jin. Stuart backs out. That's an interesting. That's an interesting scenario where you see you go to do tier 1 and tier 2 as comms. They are not backing out of that. There is no way you're getting any of those drivers to back out of that. Maybe a bit more aggressive on the higher end, I guess. Wait and see. We will wait and see nonetheless. Fracas has got a penalty, will drop off the back of this battle sooner rather than later. Jin at the front of this battle is closing in on D-Dubs, but not by an awful lot. I see him in the background now. Let's see whether or not there's anything that's going to happen here. Fracas obviously had that penalty. Wario now has a penalty, and Waluigi got past Higsy after Higsy had to serve his on the prior lap. Actually, no, Waluigi's got past Higsy anyway. Higsy still has to serve his second penalty. And Higsy's going to go around the outside of Indianapolis, which is going to be a brave move. And never mind, no he isn't, because Waluigi has covered that off pretty well. Also, Aurak getting past Wario into Indianapolis, not even giving the chance the penalty to work his magic. And then Wario gets it back rather easily. Oh, the McLaren here, who will take the position off of the GTR very momentarily. And also, Higsy drops off this battle entirely right now, as he is about to serve that 1 second penalty. So, Aurak goes by. I think Waluigi is about to follow through the hole as well. Waluigi goes by. As we now head into the second half of lap 8 with these guys, the guys at the front already onto the end of the end of lap 8, about to be onto lap 9 as we go the outside route here with Waluigi now at the inside for the following corner, but doesn't use it very well. As Aurak is able to hold on just a little while longer. But that's a double, it's a tandem off the track there by both the GTRs. They've both made mistakes. Waluigi is off the track. He went on the grass and now he's in the gravel. That was a catastrophic mistake by both of them. And both the GTRs synchronized spinning basically there. And Wario lucky not to face the brunt of it. Waluigi just hands a couple of positions there to Higsy, who's in 7th and is probably going to have this one as one he wants to forget pretty much immediately. We've got a couple of laps left in this race now. Current fastest lap 59.2 for Monty, as he is doing a pretty good job here at Le Mans. It looks like Ginger's overtaken here by Stewart. Also, D-Dub's involved. D-Dub's dropping like a stone. D-Dubs must have got something wrong, because he's just lost 3 positions. He's got something very wrong. It looks like D-Dubs and Jin may have come together. We'll wait and see. Oh, no, never mind. D-Dubs has got it a little bit wrong. Oh, and then a collision there. A collision between the two of them, and Jin has waited for a little while. Oh, and that is why, that's what's caused it. So D-Dubs gets it all wrong, and then Jin just collects him. And now D-Dubs is going to drop from 2nd all the way down the 5th. And the Super 1-2 has just disappeared in thin air. Wow. D-Dubs is top 2 with a 1-2 for the Super, just dropped out of thin air, and D-Dubs the podium also vanished in just a moment. Jin also dropped to 4th there. We've got a 1.5 laps left to go. As Stewart now takes 2nd position, it's still technically a Super 1-2, just not the same actual car. Fracas in 3rd. Jin's got a lot of slipstream here. I think Jin's going to make this. Jin's going to try and go after this as soon as humanly possible. He's got a lot of pace. He's got a lot of. Well, he had a chance to get 2nd. He was in 3rd. And after one hell of a recovery drive at the mistake he made at the start of the race, and now needs to work his way back up into the podium spots again after collecting D-Dubs. As D-Dubs also has to start working his way back through, but he's on medium tyres, so the chances of him doing that is not a very good sign for D-Dubs whatsoever. The medium tyres and nowhere near as quick as you can see. D-Dubs is just falling immediately off the chasing pack. And yeah, it's just a freeway for 2 podium spots now on lap 9 of 10. We've got 2 to go, well, 1.5 to go. Realistically, it's Monty. It's way into the distance. He just following himself safely through Indianapolis right now. And the rest of them are having to fight them tooth and nail their way to try and get themselves onto the podiums. And Stewart's still there, Fracas is still there as well. Jin is now looking on the outside, looking in. And that's a half-second penalty for Stewart. Stewart's got a half-second penalty, won't serve it this lap, but he has picked up a penalty. Fracas has now got to the inside here against Stewart. And that'll allow Jin as well to follow through a hole. If he can do it, there's no half-second being served on this lap. He'll serve it on lap 10. And Fracas has got himself in front, and Jin has also followed through the hole. And now it's Fracas in second, Jin in third, and Stewart on the outside looking in. Wow. One mistake, one very minute mistake there for Stewart, might I say. It was punished rather heavily. Losing multiple positions, losing out on a podium, losing out on a very good race for him, but yeah. He's going to be looking back on that one, wondering why he's put himself in such a situation to pick up every penalty under the sun. I'm pretty sure he's going to tack on at least another half. That looked very much over the line. He somehow survived it. Fair enough, fair play. I believe that should have been a thing. Pretty sure it's off the curb. Pretty sure the curb is the penalty marker for that corner. We'll wait and see, but it's been a week. I guess I can forget a couple of things. So Monty, clear of Jin, who's managed to get himself in second. Fracas in third. Stewart in fourth has got a penalty, so it should be the case that if the front three doesn't make any mistakes, it should be theirs to lose. Higgsy has ran out of fuel and had to pit. I have no idea how Wario has managed to go 7 laps. That is ridiculous. Damn. That is absolutely absurd. 1 pit stop. I think it was 1 pit stop anyway. Not entirely sure. I guess I'll get told by Wario later on, and if I'm wrong. Fracas picks up a penalty, you have to get in front of Jin. Oh, I think Fracas has gone too wide there. I think that's what happened. Fracas went a bit too wide, going into the Mulsanne straight, and I'm assuming that's where the penalty was picked up. He didn't have one before when we were watching him through turn 4, so it must have been where he picked it up. Jin now just has to sit in and hang tight, and he should get second here. He's going to get the slipstream. Fracas has a little bit of a run though. It's a really good run here for Fracas. Jin, the only one in this triple threat without a penalty. Fracas needs to get himself a little bit of a gap. That's what it seems to be doing. We'll see whether or not he can do it good enough. Stewart also flying in that Super right now. Got really close to the BMW, but not enough to really do anything about it. So, Fracas in second. We've got Monty from Fracas from Jin. Monty in cruise control of this one and has been since effectively the pit stop. Yeah, actually, never mind effectively the pit stop. He did take the lead on the exit of said pit stop, and it's it's a lot of things that Monty has done right today. It looks like Fracas just gets a little bit nervous on the exit there as we head down towards Indianapolis one last time, and Fracas has obviously got a half-second penalty. So what could have been a win in the sprint and a second in the feature, it will be a win in the sprint and a third in the feature, which is still a great day for Fracas nonetheless. But I think he might have been, I think he could have done a little bit better, especially in this feature race in the end. We'll wait and see as we go through Indianapolis one last time. There's no mistake for either driver, which means this half-second penalty will just drag both Stewart and Fracas back. D-Dubs is in the distance, and he's just going to have to sit there and end in 5th. And there's the penalty being served now by Fracas. Gets back up to the line, and he's got to be overtaken by Jin. And Jin gets passed on the final lap as a result of Fracas with a half-second penalty. Now Fracas has one 2.5 sectors realistically to do anything about it. It's all corners, so he's going to have to get something, get a run really nicely done here, but he's not going to be able to. And Jin should be able to control the first couple of, well, just control the final sector from here. Fracas had gone for it. It looked like he was going to go for it there, but goes very quickly to the line here, where Monty, after the pit stop, he got past his teammate. His teammate was on the mediums, and Monty, making up for the sprint, wins the feature in commanding fashion. Absolutely no stopping him today whatsoever. Deserved win for Monty. As we go through, and that's Fracas and Monty that'll win the races on the day. Jin will get second. I'm pretty sure that's a double second. And Fracas will get third. He'll take a double podium. He will take that and run with it. Stuart will get fourth. It's a good day for Stuart, but I think he could have done better. D-Dubs will take fifth. Aurak is going up against Waluigi for 6th here as we go through the final couple of corners. There's no way through for Waluigi here. And that is going to be Aurak that ends in 6th, and Waluigi will have to take 7th. Just about, but that is how it's going to end there. And Wario goes about 5.5 yards off the track. He's lucky enough where Higgsy and Deco are way in the distance, so it doesn't really matter. He picks up a second for it as well. And there we go, Wario around the final corner. It will be 2 seconds. He has the penalty, but it won't really matter as he's going to end in 8th. And here goes Higgsy, who's going round. He comes round the final corner now. He's going to end 9th. Yep, and he's going to end 9th. Deco ends 10th. Slav is going to end on the back of everyone here. And he goes into the gravel one more time for good measure. And over the line he goes. And that is the end of Tier 5 for Le Mans. Monty takes the feature win. It's a good race for him. And there you go. That is how it ended there in Le Mans for Tier 5. We're going to have a very quick look at the standings just so we know where we are. Tier 5 standings coming out of Le Mans, going into Kyoto in roughly about 3.5 hours time. So Moose is still in the lead. It's 22 points to his teammates. BMW effectively, well, they're in cruise control of the constructors now. They're up by 43 on the McLarens. Then you got Wario, who's on 132 in the drivers, so 30 points back on Moose King. Higgsy had needed a better day than that. 122 is also now 40 now points back, and the rest, even Fracas's good day is only putting him up into 6th in the championship, 117. So he's looking possibly at the top 3 if he can get it. But it looks like a 2 or 3 horse race at most now for the championship in Tier 5, and the constructors are all but dead and buried and definitely can be won next week. Well, I say next week, and by next week I mean in 3 hours time. Alright, and with that, I will see you guys later. I'm going to go do some practice. I need it.